Hello, everybody, and welcome back to War of Dots. I got a goodie for you today, folks. So we have Karamane in the blue, we got Flying Toasty in the red, I am in the purple, and Hovcraft is in the orange. We're going to get rid of this screen because it's going to be very distracting because there's going to be a lot that happens up here in this top corner. This was an interesting game, and I really enjoyed playing this game. I don't know how other players felt about it, but but I think this is a great example of just how quickly things can turn around, just by doing well at the game. Basically, we're going to see this red player here do extremely well. I do some cool things. I do some fancy tactics things. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. So this is the start of the game. We're all kind of just waiting to make our first move. I've moved multiple units onto cities. We're going to go ahead and put up flags for cities because that's also going to be important. This frees up some income so we can get some money going. We want money. We want money so we can produce units. And Red's preparing for a couple of things. Red's preparing to do an offense in the north. This is, I think even I've done this. This is a pretty common tactic of bringing this heavy up and around and attacking these 4 units here because they don't have a heavy tank to cover. Which I just back it up with another infantry unit at some point. Orange is doing some sneaky pushes, trying to, I don't know if they're trying to, like, goad me or just test my defenses. But, yeah, so there's going to be a couple of things that occur here. Blue lost the first couple of units because his unit down here walked over the water. Red's pulling a unit back to his city. I pulled a unit back here to my city. And apparently Orange decided that was a sign of weakness because he's testing my defenses. He's seeing if maybe I'm going to pull some maneuver here. But no, I'm just freeing up some of my income. So I move my infantry unit here, and we have something really funny going on here. Both Red and Blue are trying to backdoor their opponents. They're trying to take cities along the coast. I think Blue and Red are in the worst position on this map. And just by chance, just by complete and utter chance, they encounter one another. Just on the open sea. Keep in mind that there's fog of war, you can't really see these units. And yeah, they ran right into each other. So that's great. At the same time, I believe Red launches his offense up here. Okay, maybe a couple seconds. But, yeah, and that's a battle that Blue's going to lose. And yeah, Red's starting to push up here. I'm not really quite sure of the wisdom of functionally attacking 2 players at once. But, you know, I'm being pressured a little bit by Orange over here by the bridges. Maybe he sees the casualty counts going up. He thinks, oh, well, there must be fighting over here, so let's push over here. I don't know. And Red does a push here. This actually makes a lot more sense because he's about to win this little naval engagement here, and he's about to push in on the capital. We'll see if that succeeds for him or not. But I'm cycling troops out. I'm trying to keep my units fresh to do maximum damage. I'm just doing as much as I can to defend. I'm not really looking for major gains here. I'm just trying to hold my land from his attack, because I see their numbers changing. I see these casualties going up. I know he's fighting Blue. And he tries to get a breakthrough here. Tries to go for my city. He hesitates. And that allows me to get a encirclement on this unit, and that unit will disperse. And it really starts looking like his attack up here in the north. I wish I could scroll this, man. This attack up here in the north is not going well for him. His units are pretty heavily damaged. Their morale is low, but, you know, this is going pretty well for him. He's captured Blue's capital down here, although he's not going to be able to hold on to that. Although, it won't matter if he breaks through right here. But all the meanwhile, Orange is still up here testing my defenses, seeing if they can get a breakthrough. And I'm focusing on both of these fronts pretty heavily. I have to, because they're both attacking me, functionally. If I had to fall Orange for one thing in this playthrough, or this game, it's going to be, like, an action. You'll see he doesn't really react a whole lot. He doesn't really maneuver his troops a whole lot. He just kind of pushes and prods forward with a couple units here, a couple units here. Not really super committal. But yeah, Red tries to get another sneaky backdoor. I don't know if you call this a backdoor when they're just breaking through the front. But I have a unit there. That's also going to fail. And I see a gap here, and I go for it. I'm like, look, I know his troop counts are starting to get a little bit low. All of his units up here are struggling. I saw a gap there, and I'm gonna go for it. Now, a lot of times, when you capture this first city, it's the end. Their entire line crumbles. We'll see if that happens this time. Or not. So I capture that position. He rushes up to recapture, but he's already taking damage. He's already suffering from not having that city. You could probably argue that Blue struggles with inaction here, but yeah, he has a lot going on over here. This is probably where all of their attention is being focused, which is understandable. If Blue gets broken here, they basically lose. So this battle is continuing to go on. It really looks like I have the upper hand. And I'm going to continue trying to push that advantage. But in the meantime, Orange still prodding my defenses down here. Still doing a little bit of damage here. Just things I have to be wary of. And things are really not looking good for Red. His units here trying to retake the city were encircled and cut off. They're struggling. Many of his infantry units are looking pretty weak. It's not looking good for Red right now. He has the fewest troop counts, the most deaths, and it's looking like he's going to get pushed back on all fronts. It does not look good for, what's his name? Flying Toasty. But he's doing his best. He's fighting. And I see that this line is struggling. I decide to do a big push. I'm like, you know, if we could solidify this, maybe we can do pretty well. Maybe we can make a difference. But yeah, my troops are pretty weak up here as well. They're not exactly doing great. I get a nice little encirclement on these troops up here. And really things are going pretty well for me, other than the fact that Orange has one of my heaviest pinned. This is actually a really big deal. I can't remember if I saved this unit or not, but let's not focus on that because all chaos is breaking loose. Red is pushing to take the city back. I get a unit encircled. Things are not looking good. Things are looking quite chaotic, I guess I should say. And I lose this city. And I realize at this point that this attack has failed. I'm probably not going to be able to push through here. But I pull my troops back, and I see Blue is doing fairly well in the south. So I'm like, all right, let's pull back, let's recover, let's push Orange off, and maybe I can renew my attacks when Blue takes care of this. But unfortunately, Blue crumbles pretty quickly down here. Yeah, he gets his tank bogged down. He loses a unit there. He loses the unit here. And then he just gets his city captured. Spoiler warning, I guess. I actually thought that it happened right there, but there's not really anything that he could do to stop this now. And I thought that Red was going to leave me alone, but he has continued to pressure my lines. He keeps trying to snipe off my units. This is dividing my attention between Orange here and Red. And it's working. It's actually working extremely well. Meanwhile, Blue could pull a few more troops over. I mean, he doesn't know that he can pull these troops over back because I'm not going to attack this way. That's suicide. But we're going to quickly start noticing something changing in the dynamic of this battle because Red has won the battle on this front. He now has full access to the back half of Red's or Blue space. Even though he has the lowest troop count, he has the highest casualties. He's very close to just collapsing up here. And honestly, I should have pushed here more. I should have gone for the city again, but I didn't think that. I assumed that he had a unit there again. There's Fog of War. That's the point of the Fog of War. And things are about to change pretty dramatically because while I'm focusing up here, Orange is starting to inch towards this city here. And he's actually about to take out the last defender. I see it. I try to pull him back. I try to put my tank in to stop the bleeding. The tank goes a weird direction, and he takes the city. Now things are going horribly wrong for me. He takes the city. I start losing units over here. I recapture this city, but I really don't have the troops to hold it. Meanwhile, Orange keeps pushing into this gap to solidify his hold there. And Blue finally notices that a lot of the Red's troops here have moved to sort of counterattack me, or defend himself, I guess is probably the better idea. And he starts pushing forward. But it's not going to be enough. And he doesn't really push super aggressively. I could have done more with these troops, but again, I'm trying to focus between these two lines. I'm just kind of jumping back and forth, adjusting my troops. And, yeah, suddenly things are not looking too good for me. I have almost have the fewest troops now. Now I do. And I'm being pushed back by Orange, I'm being pushed back by Red. And I'm like, alright, this is not going well. So I need to try to do sort of a desperation play, if you could call it that. So I set up my unit over here to try to backdoor him, try to capture one of these cities. Of course, this one's defended, but it always seems like the cities that are defended are the ones that you attack, and the ones that are not defended are the ones that you do not attack. But Red made a breakthrough here due to my crumbling lines, and he takes another city. And I'm like, alright, I can't hold on to this anymore. I can't. It's too much. So I lose a tank division here. Disastrous. I try to take the city back, but it's not going to work. I try to take this, it doesn't work. Of course, if I went for this one, I would have been okay, but that's not what happened. I get another tank division encircled here. Things are not looking too well for me, and I'm like, this is crumbling very quickly. I can't move this back. Meanwhile, Red and Blue still haven't really done much of anything. But, yeah, so I pull back to this city. I decide, look, last stand, we're gonna protect this city. And then I pull back to my island up here. I'm gonna protect my last few remaining cities. Try to build up some kind of counterattack, maybe take a player off guard. I think having this city actually worked against me with that idea, though, because because I had this nice little cluster of units here, I never really, like, exited the public mind. Like, they never really forgot about me because I was right in the middle of the map. But Orange up here is going to stage a assault. They probably think that I do not have very many troops up here. I don't. Not really. But this is one of the hardest islands to attack in the game because there's only really, like, 2 easy paths in. And Red begins his offensive against Blue. And apparently, Blue has not learned from their... You know what? Maybe I'm not giving Orange enough credit here. Orange did very well. Maybe Blue is the passive person. But Blue falls for the same thing twice. And leaves his capital undefended. And he has all these troops that he could pull back. Because right now, Orange is so focused on me, they're not going to attack. And Red is so focused on Blue that Blue needs to bring some of these boys home. But at this point, it doesn't matter. Blue's done for. He lost 3 cities. He's going to lose a 4th. Now he finally pulls some units back. And again, Orange does this massive attack here. Tries to send his units across the water, and he just can't break through. This is not an easy place to attack when the troops are built up. It's just not, because I can defend with 2 or 3 units or a single tank, and it doesn't go well. So at this point, Blue is cooked. Orange should probably be moving in to try to capture these territories, but they're not. Red's focused on my little position here, and is focused on solidifying his front with Orange. Because at this point, Red has most of the cities on the map. All he has to do is play for time, basically. Unless the players team up to attack someone. So maybe Orange should focus a little bit less on me and a little bit more on Red. I don't really know what I would have done if Orange didn't choose to constantly harass me on this island. But I know what my game plan is now. If Orange just left me alone, I may have focused more on Red. I don't know. That's an alternative timeline that I'm not familiar with. But we'll see how that plays out, shall we? Orange does get a nice big encirclement on 2 of Red's tank divisions. And Red's really focused on pushing me out. At this point, Orange should probably be trying to help Blue. Blue's still in the game. I give any player that holds out for this long, I give massive credit, even if they're losing. Because you don't know. You don't know in what way things may change over the course of the battle. And as Red proved, you can be on the back foot and then pull back ahead if you get the proper opening to do so. And that's what I'm hoping for up here. This is why I haven't given up. This is why I'm still defending my island. I'm still defending my city here as much as I can. But yeah, there's so many troops just standing here in a line. All of these units could be used, I don't know, to defend against Red, to attack me. Probably not to attack me. I would probably reset my lines to somewhere farther north. Leave a couple of units back here just so that Blue doesn't get any ideas. And for the love of everything, get your units off of your cities. You have 600 funds. You could be producing more troops. But hey, I've made that mistake before too, so I can't say that much. So I go to try to backdoor Red City here. I see he has a tank division here. I can't fight a tank division, so I just choose to take out this infantry unit and back off. Because just sneak around, kill the unit, run back to the island, no questions asked. So Orange finally backs off for now, as Blue actually puts up another valiant defense. Because you gotta keep in mind, again, this is a game of inches. Red's attacking the last holdouts for me here. He's attacking the last holdout for blue here. So what do you do as orange? Do you also attack the last holdouts, or do you try to organize some sort of counterattack against the largest player? It's a hard question to ask, right? Because if orange attacks red, I could come in and take some of these settlements. But the wrong answer is getting your tank division stuck behind your infantry division. Try to float your infantry units over the water and getting them killed. And then sitting all of your units here in a defensive line that just lets red push more of an advantage. Blue actually gets a really nice counterattack here. He manages to encircle red. He takes back one of his cities. This is such a good battle. Like, this is just a really good battle. And honestly, for most of it, even at this point, kind of, it could go anyway. I'm being a little bit critical of orange, maybe, because he keeps attacking me, but you know, if orange attacked red, if blue retook his settlements, then it could have been a very different game. Same thing for me. If orange attacked red and I retook a couple of my settlements, it could have been a very different game. But unfortunately, my city here is about to fall. There's nothing I can do for it. That's all I got. I get a nice little surround on orange's troops here on the bridge. And it's important to keep in mind, I guess, orange finally moves his troops forward towards blue. It's important to keep in mind that there's fog of war. They don't know what's happening exactly. They don't know how strong or outnumbered they are or what. They just know what they can see, right? And blue continues, not blue, yeah. So orange decides to attack blue to take his city. I mean, that's a choice. I don't necessarily think it's a bad choice, but I also get a sneaky unit in here and recapture my city. And at the same time, I encircle orange's troops here, and I smell blood in water. I'm like, okay, maybe we can do something with this. Meanwhile, blue is just going to fall between orange and red. Poor blue. Blue did nothing wrong. All he wanted to do was play a game and backdoor red. And now the two strongest players are bullying him. R.I.P. But while orange is focused on this, his tanks are just kind of slowly dying. Now, this is what I should have done. When I recaptured this city, pushed my troops out, I should have focused on red. I should have focused on red. I should have been like, look, orange, yeah, you don't, yeah, we've had our differences, but red is the most dangerous player on the map. We should probably do something about that. But I push forward, and I see all this big open space. I remember orange constantly trying to attack my island. And I'm like, I'm going to try to push in. I'm going to try to push into orange as much as I can. At least get his units away from this city. And I am free. I'm free from my island. Here comes the bullies. Okay, it's a lot slower than I remember it being, but blue is gone. Rest in peace, blue. And now the real battle begins. Also, what nerd is clogging his supply lines by keeping units on his cities that produce units? I have 900 points in the bank. It's me. I'm the bad person in this situation. But yeah, I smell an opening. I send my troops forward. I'm like, let's see what's going on. Of course, Orange has a lot of tanks. He has a lot of things that he has to worry about right now. Again, I probably should have just sort of left Orange alone and attacked Red. I think between Orange and I, in theory, we could have beaten Red. But I see tanks coming forward, even though it's technically towards my aggression of moving out of my island. This is a really stupid roadblock that causes a lot of casualties that I shouldn't get. So I see these tanks coming forward. I start surrounding them. I'm like, I gotta do something. Of course, that something should have been attacking Red, but, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? And yeah. Unfortunately, Orange can't handle this. This is too much for Orange to deal with. Red's pushing, I'm pushing. Now, the only thing that kind of makes me sad is I would have liked it if... Well, I mean, I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. Red's going to start attacking me, and I'm going to wake up from my anti-orange stupor. And I get stupidly, I get my infantry surrounded, and I'm like, I'm just gonna try to take their capital. I don't think it works. I don't actually remember. No, I decide to pull back. But yeah, there's just combat the whole way across the front. And Red's about to pick a fight with me. Looking at it here, I can tell, obviously. But keep in mind, Fog of War only goes so far. I can see a couple of these units, but I don't think I can see all of them. And yeah, like I said, I definitely should have focused more on Red. But I was really scared that when I pushed out and captured this city, that Orange was going to counterattack. And when he sent these heavies up, that's exactly what I thought he was going to do. He gets a surround on me, but I quickly rectify that. And then I bog down his units. Maybe I was a little bit single-minded in me attacking Orange, huh? But yeah, Red breaks through Orange's line here, and he outnumbers both of our troops combined. And yeah, it's unfortunately only a matter of time. I still do a lot of damage to Orange. I'm actually really pleased with how my attack over here went. But yeah, even with only a couple of cities, you can produce a lot of troops. And I feel like that's something that people don't realize. Especially in these multiplayer games. A lot can change if you just pull back and make yourself a hard target. I get really close to capturing the city. I don't actually think I do. But yeah, now that Orange is basically doomed, Orange is pulling back. They're like, we're gonna pull a Leecros. Leecros? However you want to pronounce it. We're gonna pull back to our last few cities and make a final stand. But at this point, Red just has such a dominating lead that even Orange's 1,800 funds, or my 1,200 funds, could not save us. And yeah, Red's just gonna push forward. Unfortunately, all of my troops are down here, not protecting my island. Yeah, There was a point here where I basically said, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna try to be the last person surviving, even though I was the first person technically knocked out of the winnings. So I just start trying to pull my troops back. It doesn't really work. Sadly, there will be no final stand for me again. I mean, there will be. We'll see that. But it won't be quite the same. And he is losing a lot of troops here. But it's not going to matter. He captures this city. I need this city, unfortunately, to set up a decent defense of the island. And, yeah, I wish I could fast forward. I mean, I guess I could fast forward at this point, just, like, in post. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to keep watching. This is a 30-minute battle. A 30-minute battle, and every single player fought until the end. Well, I don't actually know if... No, Orange is still moving troops around. Orange is still here. Sadly, I threw my lot in with the wrong side. I should have went for red instead of orange. But alas, it was not to be. Yeah, we'll just fast forward from here. No, I lied. We're not gonna fast forward. Do you know why? Because it takes time to process these videos in Camtasia. So how's it going, folks? How's the weather there? I hope you folks are having a wonderful day. I'm having so much fun playing War of Dots, even when I lose. Like, even in situations like this, I had a lot of fun. And I think that's important. There was only, like, one game where I didn't really have fun. It was a game, it was a 3-player game where the other 2 players basically just sent all of their units at me. Not at each other. In fact, they took all of the units off of the front line with them. They just sent it right to me. And I'm like, well, I guess I'll die then. And it wasn't really, like... It's not that it wasn't fun so much as, like... Oh, this is what's happening. So there's a moment here where I could have pushed forward and captured this city. I don't know why I didn't. I think I do, but by the time I think about it, it's way too late. And Orange dies with 1,400 funds in the bank. R.I.P. Yeah, I think I'm mostly just focused on setting up a final defense. Yeah, at this point, we all called the GGs. Like, I mean, we called the GGs a while ago. When I noticed that when I noticed that red was breaking through Orange's defenses, I'm like, yeah, no, it's a loss. And I said GG then. Can I see chat? I can't see chat. It was worth a shot. And so red's just gonna line up his boys. We're gonna have a little bit of a final battle up here. Get casualties off the screen. Just a button for casualties. There we go. He sure does just take his time to set up all of his boys, huh? I mean, I kind of figured that's what he was doing, but, like, what am I gonna do? Am I just gonna try to attack him? But I did see his tank, and I'm like, I'm gonna try to encircle his tank. think I actually pull it off. Yeah. And I see the city back there, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna grab that real quick. And then I realize what all's coming, and I'm like, oh. Well. Might as well fight it. But yeah, it was a good battle. It was a good battle. Very well done to the players involved. Every single one of them. Carmaine, Flying Toasty, Hofcraft, they stuck to it at the end, even if I disagreed with some of their moves. That's okay, because I disagree with some of my moves too. As I said, I definitely should have attacked red instead of orange. But it is what it is. Yep, and there we go. Alright, well thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. My elo is pretty bad. It used to be a lot better, but I had a bunch of losses. But that's okay. I only have 2 more battles before I get the veteran title, so that's pretty nice. But until next time, folks, happy gaming.